Alpax, doing another one of those live commentaries on how Destiny could screw things up, or how Bungie could screw things up, and probably has to go with another part of how, like, longevity in the franchise seems to go, or longevity with DLCs. I would have to say one of the big things is raids. The longevity of raids really, really helps. Like, do you play the raids very often, or are you just done playing them after a set period of time because there's just nothing to get anymore? And that's the thing, is you play raids for loot, and if the raids don't have decent loot, then you don't play the raids, obviously. It's just the way it is. And probably one of the biggest examples of not good loot in a raid was Crota's End. And I would have to say that was quite possibly a shitty raid for like quite a couple of things, because the Necrochasm was a bitch to get. You had to have Glowhu Shader on. You had to have done, which required doing the hard raid to get it. So not only did you have to complete the hard raid once, but you also had to complete it a second time, and then you had to have the Eidolon Ally. Well, how the hell did you get the Eidolon Ally? Well, you had to farm the Husk of the Pit, which literally I've had friends who were playing freaking the Taken King ask, "Whoa, what the hell is this thing? I just got a gun from this Blade of Crota." Like that's the thing. It's like, it was so complicated to get. Like, I'm surprised that I got it, because I swore like I had to spun 3 times and hail Deej but I didn't. But I was one of those lucky guys who got the Crux of the Crota on his second, on his second or third time completing the hard raid, and all my friends were jealous. But I ended up having to tell them it isn't even worth being jealous, because the gun was so shit. It was just awful. Like, I honestly couldn't believe that they didn't want to replace the Mytho class, is what I told my friends when I got this gun. It's like, this gun is shit. It's obvious, like, they didn't want to replace the Vex Mytho. They didn't want to have another Vex Mytho class, because the Vex Mytho class was really good. It had to get nerfed, like, because it was like 3-shotting people, or 2 or 4, or just like the way the Crucible was back then, how laggy it was. It basically made it feel like people just got one shot. And that's why it felt like they didn't want to repeat that. But that's the thing, is the Mythoclass, the longevity of the Vaulted Glass, and why everybody played the Vaulted Glass so often, is because the Mytho class could just be got from doing the hard raid. You had a chance of getting dropped it. There wasn't none of this, oh, well, I have to do this part, I don't have to oh, I have to do this part of the quest for it, and then this and that and this and that. No, it's just, you legit play Vaulted Glass, killed Atheon, and you had a chance of getting dropped this. And I was one of those lucky ass motherfuckers. The first time I got into a hard raid, I actually got dropped the Mytho class, and it was so freaking hilarious. It was such a fun gun. I loved the damn thing, but I still played the Vaulted Glass because it was a fun raid and it was awesome. And that's the thing, is like, the loot was good too. Like, you wanted that Vision of Confluence, you wanted that Fatebringer, you wanted all these cool guns, because all the loot in the raid was dank, and you never really got that with any other raids except for the Chaos Dogma, maybe in the Siva raid and whatnot. And I was just never really a fan of like the King's Fall loot. Like, I don't know what happened with after Crota's End and after the House of Wolves. They decided, you know what? Let's do this weird thing where just you have to go through a bounty to get the stuff and to get the raid exotic. And the way it happened now is because the freaking the exotic just, you had to do these silly things, like you had to collect calcified fragments, you had to do all this. Like, you could theoretically get the Touch of Malice for the King's Fall, or for the Taken King DLC, by not having to go through a boss. It was silly. You theoretically, if you had a bunch of friends with saves or checkpoints, you didn't have to go and fight Golgoroth or any of this. It was quite silly, in all honesty. And they did it again with the Siva like one, which, in all honesty, I have the bounty for the Siva one. I do have the bounty for the Siva pulse rifle, but I just can't. Like, the two other guys that I have this bounty with, they don't have the time, or they don't have the energy to go through all the little parts to do it, and I don't blame them. I don't either. It's just, it pretty much sucks, is because now, like, there's been such a period of time where I haven't played Destiny. Like the last live commentary Destiny video that I was only on for so little, and then I was back off again, and I went back to like Borderlands 2, and there needs to be specific raid exotics that drop from the final boss. And I would even go as far to say that guys like Boss 6, who aren't the main boss, should also have a chance to drop an exotic. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm just crazy, but adding more exotics, adding more content into the game, like adding more things that you would want to farm for, try and get, like, maybe that's just me being crazy, but I would love that sort of shit. I would love to see like a specific raid exotic for Boss 6, or like Golgoroth, or just anything, but we don't seemingly get that. It kind of sucks. Like, Atheon did it right. Atheon had it right. He had his specific raid exotic, but it would have been awesome if the game of who was it? The whoever the hell that bastard was that had the oracles. I forget his name now, and yet I love that raid so much. Like, if the guy with the oracles and shit had a specific raid exotic too, that would be awesome too. But it's just not the way it is, and hopefully in Destiny 2 that is what gets changed, is that there's more raid exotics. Like, could you imagine like a raid where like there's a primary raid exotic, a special raid exotic, and a heavy raid exotic? I would play that raid like crazy. Like, House of Wolves wasn't a raid, but it had a bunch of it had like 3 exotics, which was cool. It was like sort of way to compensate for it not being a raid, but at the same time it wasn't that good of a, it wasn't the best. The 3 exotics, only, I swear, like the only good one is the one I'm using right now, which is the Lord of Wolves, and the other 2 were just like obsolete in like other parts of the game, where like the Drake's Promise is good in PvE, but now it's been replaced by the Trespasser, and Queenbreaker's Bow was only decent in PvP, and it sucked dick. It sucks dick in PvE. Why would you ever use the Queenbreaker's Bow in PvE? Like, it's like a PvP only thing, which sucks. Like, there's a lot of things that could have been added into the game. Stuff would have probably been pretty dope. I probably would have been playing Destiny way more often than now, and probably there would still be a big fan base if there was a whole bunch of active fan base, I should say, like actively people playing every week to do the raids would be seen if there was that freaking more raid exotics, but there just isn't. Ah, you bastard! Of course you move. Okay, get dead. Thank you for coming over that. Okay, don't teleport, you fucking... That's right. So yeah, in conclusion, like, I hope for Destiny 2, the raid exotics just aren't one raid exotic that comes from a quest. You can still have, like, those exotics that come from a quest that involve you doing stuff in the raid, but I also want there to be specific raid exotics that actually drop from the boss. That would actually be sick. So hopefully that happens. I don't know. Probably won't. Probably just not gonna happen, because I feel Bungie's probably not gonna try and throw in a whole bunch of weapons or throw in a whole bunch of content, because I don't know. I just really hope for more exotics. I really do, and I hope for raid-specific exotics so more people would play raids. Because the raid bosses in, there's like a whole bunch of other stuff like raid bosses in other games like Borderlands, where the raid boss has like four or five drops, or like 3 drops that you can get. And it kind of sucks that Destiny only had like one raid boss that had a specific drop it could drop, and then the other ones were all just like quest things that were just long and tedious and don't help with the longevity of raids. So hopefully in Destiny 2 we get a raids where there's more than one drop. I really hope so, but who knows. I would see it as a way to actually really help with Destiny raids. It'd probably help with longevity. And hey, let's see we get in this. Probably nothing, but whatever. Yeah. Hey, we got the snow drag. We got that. Alright, this is Battle Packs, and I'm signing off. Peace.